Have you ever felt this? You're sleeping peacefully when suddenly a bolt of pain shoots through your calf. Your toes curl downward, your breath locks in your chest, and for a moment you feel completely trapped inside your own leg. It always seems to happen between 2 and 5 in the morning, just when your body should be resting. If this sounds familiar, you are far from alone. Millions of seniors across the country wake up with this exact same shock, wondering what went wrong. A patient once told me she dreaded going to bed more than anything else. She tried drinking more water, eating bananas every afternoon, using warm compresses, even massaging her legs before sleep. But after turning 60, her cramps only grew stronger and more unpredictable. She thought she was doing everything right, so why did the pain keep returning? I still remember the worry in her voice when she asked me, "Is this just part of getting older?" Blondie, it's neat. But imagine this. While you sleep, your circulation naturally slows, your muscles cool, and your nerves become more reactive. It is almost like a river narrowing at night, forcing blood to work harder to reach the lower legs. When those muscles do not get the oxygen and nutrients they need, they can tighten suddenly, sending sharp signals that jolt you awake. Most people believe leg cramps come from dehydration or low potassium, but that is not always the real story after 60. Aging changes how blood moves through the legs. It changes how nerves fire. It even changes how flexible and responsive the muscles are. These deeper reasons often remain hidden, and too many seniors suffer without ever understanding why. In the next part of this video, I will help you uncover the real circulation, nerve, and muscle factors that make cramps more intense after 60. You will learn the early warning signs that deserve attention and the simple steps you can take to calm your legs and sleep with confidence again. Before we continue, if this message is helping you already, please subscribe, like, and share Senior Health Daily. Your support helps us create more life-changing guidance for you. Your body is not failing, it is communicating. And once you understand its signals, everything becomes easier. Why leg cramps hit harder? After 60. As we move past 60, our bodies begin to communicate in ways they never did before. Leg cramps are one of those messages. And while they can be painful, frightening, and disruptive, they always carry meaning. To understand why these cramps become more powerful and more frequent with age, we need to look inside the body and understand what quietly changes over time. One of the first shifts happens inside the blood vessels. When we are younger, our arteries and veins are flexible and responsive, almost like soft rubber tubing that bends, stretches, and adapts with every movement. After 60, however, these vessels naturally stiffen. This stiffness makes it harder for blood to move freely down into the calves and feet. And when blood flow slows, muscles do not receive enough oxygen or nutrients during the night. A muscle that is oxygen-hungry becomes irritable, reactive, and prone to sudden tightening. Muscles also change with age. They lose elasticity, the same way an old rubber band becomes less stretchy and more likely to snap. A calf muscle that used to relax easily can now tighten with much more force. That is why cramps after 60 often feel sharper and deeper, almost like the muscle is twisting from the inside. It is not your imagination. The muscle actually contracts harder because it no longer moves or lengthens the way it used to. Then we have the nerves. The nerves that control the legs become more sensitive as we age. They fire more quickly and with less provocation. A small drop in blood flow or a minor shift in position during the night can trigger a sudden burst of electrical activity. That burst is what wakes you up in agony. It feels like lightning shooting through the leg because, in a way, it is. The nerve is sending rapid, intense signals that cause the muscle to contract violently. Another factor often overlooked is how our veins behave after 60. Veins are responsible for carrying blood back up toward the heart. As they age, they lose tone and can become sluggish, allowing blood to pool in the lower legs. When this happens at night, the muscles are forced to work harder with less support. Over time, this pooling increases nighttime cramp risk dramatically. I once treated a man named Harold, a lively 67-year-old who loved gardening and walking his dog. Out of nowhere, he began waking up every night with deep, painful cramps that left him breathless. He tried stretching, drinking more water, even eating bananas like his friends recommended. Nothing helped. When we evaluated his leg circulation with a simple test, we discovered early signs of narrowed arteries. He had no pain while walking, no swelling, no obvious signs. The cramps were his first warning. Stories like Harold's remind us why these cramps feel so different after 60. They are not random. They are not weakness. They are the body signaling that something deeper is happening inside the vascular and nerve systems. In the next part, we'll explore the hidden circulation factors most seniors overlook in their daily routine and how these subtle patterns create the perfect conditions for nighttime leg cramps. The hidden circulation factors seniors overlook. When most seniors think about circulation, they imagine dramatic symptoms, swollen ankles, visible veins, or pain while walking. But the truth is that circulation can decline quietly, long before any of those signs appear. And it's in this silent stage that leg cramps begin to strike with surprising force. One of the biggest hidden triggers is extended sitting. Many older adults spend long periods in chairs, whether watching TV, reading, or resting. Sitting seems harmless, but the calf muscles act as the body's natural pump for blood returning to the heart. When the calves stay still for too long, that pump shuts down. Blood begins to settle in the lower legs, oxygen delivery slows, and the muscles become tense and irritable. Hours later, often during sleep, the cramp hits. Another subtle factor is sleeping position. Many seniors sleep with their knees slightly bent or their legs tucked in. This position can compress the blood vessels running down the thighs and calves. When circulation drops even a little, the muscles remain half-supported, half-starved. By the time the body fully relaxes in the early morning hours, the nerve signals become jumpy and the muscle reacts. Leg crossing during the day is another surprising contributor. Crossing the legs compresses blood flow through the upper thigh and can create temporary narrowing in the vessels. Most people don't feel it in the moment, but the repeated compression every day accumulates. Over time, the muscles receive slightly less oxygen and fewer nutrients, leaving them more susceptible to nighttime reactivity. Cold feet are another early clue. When feet or lower legs feel cold at night, it is often because circulation is struggling to reach the center of the muscle tissue. Muscles in a colder state react more quickly and more intensely. A chilled calf is far more likely to spasm because the nerves fire more easily when the tissue temperature drops. Many seniors who sleep without socks or have cool bedrooms unknowingly increase their chances of experiencing a painful cramp. Hydration patterns also play a major role. Some older adults drink most of their fluids in the evening rather than throughout the day. Although the intention is good, this pattern does not actually improve circulation. When hydration is inconsistent, the plasma becomes thicker and blood moves more slowly. A woman I once treated learned this firsthand. She believed she was drinking enough water, but she consumed almost all of it late at night. Her daytime circulation remained sluggish, and her muscles paid the price while she slept. Once she shifted her hydration earlier in the day, her cramps decreased dramatically. These factors can seem small when viewed individually, but together, they create the perfect storm. Cooler muscles, slower blood flow, tighter calves, and nerves waiting for the slightest misstep to trigger a cramp. Nerve overreactivity. After 60. One of the most overlooked reasons leg cramps intensify after age 60 is the natural change that happens within the nerves themselves. As we grow older, our nerves become more sensitive, more reactive, and more easily triggered. This doesn't mean anything is wrong. It simply reflects the natural aging of the nervous system, much like the way eyesight or hearing changes over time. Every muscle contraction starts with an electrical signal from the nerves. When these signals become jumpy or irregular, the muscle responds with sudden tightness or spasms. Many seniors describe the sensation as a spark or jolt, as if someone flipped a switch without warning. This is not imagination. It is nerve overreactivity. One major contributor is low magnesium intake. Magnesium is the mineral that helps calm the nerves and balance electrical impulses. After 60, the ability to absorb magnesium from food declines, and many seniors unintentionally eat diets low in this mineral. Without enough magnesium, the nerves fire too quickly and too strongly, making the muscles jump into a cramp with very little provocation. Poor sleep also makes nerves more excitable. When the brain and body are tired, the nervous system loses some of its natural buffering capacity. Seniors who wake frequently at night or who have restless sleep are far more likely to experience cramping. Even one night of inadequate rest can make the nerves more reactive the following day. Stress plays a bigger role than most people realize. When the body is stressed, even in subtle ways, hormones like cortisol rise. These hormones deplete mineral stores and make it harder for the nerves to settle. Many older adults carry quiet stress from health issues, caregiving, finances, or loneliness. This stress rarely shows on the outside, but inside the body, it contributes to nerve sensitivity. Another reason nerve overreactivity becomes more common at night is that both circulation and muscle temperature naturally drop. Cooler muscles conduct nerve signals differently. When you combine lower circulation, cooler muscle temperature, and existing nerve sensitivity, the result is a perfect setup for a sudden cramp. I once cared for a woman in her early 70s who had suffered nighttime cramps for years. She believed potassium was the issue and focused entirely on bananas and supplements. But after reviewing her routine, it became clear that she barely consumed magnesium, slept poorly, and carried significant daily stress. Once she improved her magnesium intake and created a small relaxation routine before bed, her cramps decreased dramatically within 2 weeks. Nerve overreactivity is not a sign of decline. It is a sign that the body needs more support, especially in the areas of minerals, rest, and evening routines. When these are addressed, nerves calm, muscles soften, and nighttime cramps become far less frequent. Muscle tightness accumulating over decades. Another hidden reason leg cramps hit harder after 60 is the quiet buildup of muscle tightness that happens over a lifetime. These changes don't appear suddenly. They accumulate slowly, year after year, shaped by the way we walk, sit, sleep, and move. Most seniors never realize how much tension their muscles carry until a cramp wakes them in the middle of the night. The calf muscles are especially vulnerable. They spend decades working for us, day after day, propelling every step, carrying our weight, stabilizing our balance. Over time, the fibers shorten little by little, especially if ankle mobility becomes limited. When these muscles grow tighter, they become far more likely to contract violently, without warning. The hamstrings play a larger role than people realize. Stiff hamstrings add constant pull to the back of the leg, creating a chain reaction that increases stress on the calves. When the hamstrings tighten, the calves are forced into a slightly shortened position throughout the day. This makes them more reactive and quicker to cramp at night. Many seniors tell me they are surprised to learn that their nighttime calf pain is partly triggered by tension higher up the leg. Foot muscles also contribute quietly. As people age, sleep positions change. Many older adults curl their toes or point their feet downward without realizing it. This posture shortens the entire chain from the toes to the calves. When a person stretches their leg first thing in the morning, the calves can seize up instantly because the muscles have been held in a shortened position all night. The body's natural flexibility also declines after age 50. If stretching is not part of daily life, the muscles lose their ability to lengthen smoothly. That means even simple activities, such as getting out of bed, reaching for something, or adjusting a sleeping position, can trigger an abrupt contraction. I once treated a man in his 60s who believed his cramps were caused by circulation problems. But after examining him, it became clear his calves were extremely tight from years of limited movement and no stretching. When he began a gentle stretching routine and added short daily walks, the cramps that had plagued him for years diminished by nearly half in just 1 month. Muscle tightness is not a flaw. It is a reflection of how hard your legs have worked for you. But when muscles stay shortened for too long, they become quick to cramp. The encouraging truth is that muscles remain responsive at any age. With even a small commitment to flexibility and gentle movement, they begin to soften, lengthen, and recover their natural rhythm. Common mistakes that make cramps worse. Many seniors work hard to manage their leg cramps, but without realizing it, a few everyday habits can make those cramps even more intense. These aren't dramatic mistakes. They are small choices repeated daily, the kind that quietly push the body toward tension and nighttime discomfort. Bringing these habits into the light helps you understand what's happening and gives you the power to change it. One of the biggest issues is drinking most of the day's water in the evening. Seniors often avoid drinking earlier because they worry about bathroom trips, so they load up on fluids late at night. The body cannot use that water efficiently while you sleep. Instead, the muscles remain underhydrated during the day when they need water most. By nighttime, the dehydration has already set in, creating the perfect environment for cramping. Another common mistake is relying on bananas as the main solution. While potassium has its place, many seniors assume bananas can fix leg cramps. But most cramps after age 60 are not caused by low potassium at all. They are usually related to magnesium loss, tight muscles, nerve overreactivity, or slow circulation. When people depend only on bananas, they miss the bigger picture and continue suffering despite their efforts. Overstretching is another overlooked problem. When cramps strike, many people push their muscles too hard or try to stretch aggressively. This forceful movement can overstimulate the nerves and make the muscles tighten even more. Gentle, steady stretching works far better than anything rushed or painful. Your muscles respond to calm signals, not forceful ones. Walking habits also play a role. Some seniors walk too much in a single day, overloading the calves and leaving them fatigued by evening. Others walk too little, allowing the muscles to weaken and tighten over time. The healthiest pattern is a steady, moderate level of movement that keeps blood flowing without exhausting the muscles. Sleep surfaces matter more than people realize. Soft mattresses may feel comfortable at first, but they allow the hips to sink, twisting the legs into awkward angles. This misalignment places constant strain on the calves and hamstrings. For many seniors, simply adjusting the mattress or adding mild support dramatically reduces nighttime cramping. I once worked with a woman who was doing everything she could to stop her cramps. She drank water, ate bananas, took warm baths, and even used massage tools. But her cramps continued every night at 3 a.m. When we talked, she admitted she rarely drank water during the day, walked very little, and slept on a mattress so soft it swallowed her hips. She made 3 tiny changes. She shifted water intake to morning and afternoon, added a short walk after lunch, and placed a thin support under her hips. Within a few weeks, her nighttime cramps had fallen by nearly 70%. Understanding these common mistakes is empowering. When you know what interferes with your body's rhythm, you can change the pattern and restore comfort in ways that truly last. Medications that quietly increase cramp risk. One of the most overlooked contributors to leg cramps after 60 is medication. Many seniors take multiple prescriptions, and while each one has an important purpose, the combination can subtly shift mineral balance, circulation, and nerve function in ways that trigger nighttime cramping. These effects often develop slowly, so they feel like aging, even though they're actually medication-related. Diuretics, commonly prescribed for high blood pressure or heart conditions, are among the biggest culprits. They help the body release excess fluid, but they also flush out magnesium and potassium, 2 minerals that your muscles rely on to relax properly. When levels drop, even slightly, your nerves become more reactive and your muscles more prone to sudden, painful contractions. Many seniors don't connect the dots because they started these medications years before the cramps began. Statins, used to lower cholesterol, can irritate muscle tissue in subtle ways. Not every senior experiences this, but for those who do, the muscle fibers become more sensitive, especially at night when circulation naturally slows. What begins as mild tightness can suddenly turn into a cramp that wakes you from sleep. Sometimes switching to a different statin eases the problem, but it requires communication with a physician to do so safely. Certain blood pressure medications affect circulation patterns. When blood vessels relax too much or too quickly, flow to the lower legs may decrease during rest, leaving muscles under-oxygenated. That lack of oxygen can trigger cramping, especially when the legs are cold or still for long periods. Medications for diabetes can also shift the body's electrolyte balance. Even small changes make a difference in nerve stability and muscle function. Seniors who manage diabetes often juggle multiple prescriptions, each one with tiny effects that build up over time. I once worked with a senior who had been waking up with intense calf cramps every night at nearly the same time. She assumed it was dehydration or age, but when we reviewed her medication list, she realized her cramps began just a few months after her diuretic dose was increased. Her doctor adjusted the dosage slightly and recommended boosting magnesium through food. Within 2 weeks, her cramps had improved by nearly 70%. Medication-related cramps are not a sign that you should stop taking your prescriptions on your own. Instead, they are an invitation to pay attention. Patterns matter. Timing matters. Small shifts in dosage or nutrient intake often make a world of difference. If you've noticed new cramps, stronger cramps, or cramps appearing after a medication change, it's worth discussing with your healthcare provider. Sometimes the solution is surprisingly simple once the true cause is understood. Electrolyte imbalance. After 60, not just potassium. One of the biggest surprises for many seniors is discovering that leg cramps after 60 rarely come from potassium alone. In fact, most older adults have perfectly normal potassium levels when we check them. What actually changes with age is the delicate balance between several minerals that work together to keep your nerves calm and your muscles relaxed. When even one of them drifts out of range, the entire system becomes unstable. Magnesium is the mineral most seniors are missing without realizing it. It helps keep nerve impulses steady so they don't fire too quickly. It also allows muscles to release after contracting. As we age, the digestive system absorbs less magnesium from food, and many medications quietly deplete it. When magnesium dips, the nerves behave like a frayed wire, sparking more often than they should. This is one of the main reasons night cramps hit so suddenly and so hard. Calcium also plays a major role. It helps muscles contract smoothly, but when levels fluctuate, the contraction becomes jerky and unpredictable. Many seniors take calcium supplements, but without enough magnesium, the body can't use calcium properly. The balance between the two is what keeps muscles functioning in a calm, coordinated way. Sodium is often misunderstood. While too much sodium is a concern for blood pressure, too little sodium can also disrupt muscle and nerve function. Seniors who drink a lot of water late in the day or follow very low sodium diets may unintentionally dilute their sodium levels. This dilution can lead to more frequent nighttime cramps, especially between 2 and 5 in the morning when hydration naturally dips during sleep. These imbalances rarely happen overnight. They build quietly over years, influenced by diet, medications, hydration patterns, and the natural slowing of the kidneys. That's why many seniors suddenly notice more cramps after turning 60 or 70, even though their daily habits haven't changed. I worked with one woman who ate bananas faithfully because she believed potassium was the answer. Yet the cramps continued. After reviewing her diet, it became clear she wasn't getting enough magnesium and was drinking most of her water after dinner. Once she shifted her hydration earlier in the day and added magnesium-rich foods, her cramps improved dramatically. Electrolytes are not isolated ingredients. They work as a team. Potassium is just one player. Magnesium, calcium, and sodium must be in harmony, especially for older adults whose bodies no longer regulate minerals as efficiently as they used to. Understanding this balance gives you real power. It allows you to shift from guessing to truly supporting your muscles and nerves in the ways they need most. Nighttime patterns that trigger 2 to 5 a.m. cramps. If you've ever noticed that your leg cramps seem to strike in the early morning hours, you're not imagining it. There is a very real reason so many seniors tell me their worst cramps happen between 2 and 5 in the morning. Nighttime creates the perfect environment for muscles, nerves, and circulation to become more sensitive, especially after the age of 60. When you fall asleep, your body naturally slows down many processes to rest and restore. One of these is blood flow. Your legs are no longer moving, so the calf muscles that help pump blood upward toward the heart become still. Without that natural pumping motion, blood tends to pool in the lower legs. Muscles rely on a steady supply of oxygen to stay calm. When circulation slows, the muscle fibers become irritable and more likely to contract suddenly. Muscles also cool down while you sleep. Cooler muscles are tighter and more reactive. It takes far less stimulation for a nerve to trigger a cramp when the muscle temperature drops. Many seniors don't realize that even a slight drop in foot or calf temperature can start the chain reaction that leads to that painful tightening. Hydration plays another quiet role. Even if you drink well during the day, your body loses moisture throughout the night simply by breathing. This mild dehydration concentrates the minerals in your bloodstream and shifts electrolyte balance just enough to make nerves more sensitive. When electrolytes drift out of harmony, muscles respond more forcefully to even the smallest signal. There is also the way most people stretch when they first wake up or turn in bed. Seniors often point their toes without thinking. This motion shortens the calf muscle instantly and places the perfect amount of tension to trigger a cramp. It's the reason so many people say the cramp hits when they stretch their leg out. The combination of cold muscles, pooled blood, and low hydration sets the stage, and that small stretch flips the switch. I once worked with a gentleman who had cramps every morning at almost the exact same time. He felt frustrated and confused because he believed he was doing everything right. Once we reviewed his routine, the pattern became clear. His room temperature dropped at night. He slept with his feet extended, and he drank most of his water after dinner. After making a few simple adjustments, his cramps reduced dramatically. Nighttime cramps are not random. They are predictable responses to the conditions your body experiences while you sleep. When you understand these patterns, you can begin to shift them and prevent the cycle before it even starts. Practical solutions that work. Now that you understand why leg cramps hit harder after 60, and why those early morning hours feel like a perfect storm, I want to bring everything back to what truly matters, solutions you can start using today. These are gentle, realistic habits that fit easily into a senior's daily life, but make a meaningful difference in both the frequency and severity of cramps. One of the most powerful tools is a simple calf stretch before bed. When you lengthen the muscle fibers just a little, you reduce the chance that the calf will tighten suddenly during sleep. I often guide my patients to stand near a wall, place one foot behind them, and gently shift their weight forward. Just 20 seconds on each leg helps calm the muscles and prepare them for the night. Hydration plays a larger role than most people think, but timing is everything. Drinking most of your water in the morning and afternoon gives your muscles the steady support they need. Many seniors drink very little during the day and then try to catch up in the evening. This pattern doesn't help the muscles at night. What truly works is spacing your water intake so that your muscles stay nourished hours before bedtime. Light compression socks during the daytime can also help. They support your veins, encourage upward circulation, and prevent the slow pooling that leads to nighttime cramps. They don't need to be medical grade or tight. A gentle pair worn during walking, housework, or seated activities can make a surprising difference. Magnesium-rich foods in the evening calm both muscles and nerves. Almonds, spinach, pumpkin seeds, and a small square of dark chocolate are easy ways to support your mineral balance. Many seniors find that adding a magnesium-rich snack to their dinner routine reduces cramps within days. Another simple but powerful habit is warming your feet before sleep. Warmth increases circulation and relaxes the muscle fibers. Some seniors place a warm towel over their calves. Others use a soft heating pad for 5 to 10 minutes. This flow of warmth helps the legs transition into rest instead of tension. Your sleeping posture also matters more than you might expect. If you often point your toes while stretching in bed, try adjusting your position by placing a soft pillow under the calves or ankles. This encourages a more neutral foot position and reduces the subconscious curling of the toes that can trigger a cramp. Daily movement is another essential piece. It doesn't need to be long or strenuous. Short walks, gentle ankle circles, or light calf raises restore circulation and strengthen the muscles that support proper blood flow. Even 2 minutes of calf activation during the day helps prevent that sudden tightening that wakes you at night. Of course, there are moments when cramps signal something more serious. If you experience swelling, color changes in the foot, cramps that only happen on one side, or cramps that appear while walking, it's important to seek medical evaluation. These signs may point to deeper circulation issues that deserve careful attention. What I've learned after caring for thousands of seniors is that leg cramps are rarely caused by a single factor. They are the result of patterns, habits, and changes that accumulate quietly over time. The good news is that small, intentional adjustments create big improvements. When you support your muscles, hydrate consistently, care for your circulation, and reduce nerve irritation, your body begins to respond with calm instead of pain. As we come to the end of our time together, I want you to take a gentle breath and remember this truth. Leg cramps are not a sign of weakness. They are not proof that your body is failing or that age has taken something away from you. They are signals, quiet, persistent messages from a body that has carried you faithfully for decades, asking for care, attention, and kindness. Your legs have walked you through a lifetime of moments. They supported you during long workdays, carried you through storms and celebrations, helped you raise families, and brought you to places where memories were made. They have been your companions through joy, loss, and every season in between. They deserve to be treated with gratitude, not frustration. They are not giving up. They are guiding you, and here's the part I want you to hold on to tightly. There is always hope. Even at 60, 70, 80, or beyond, circulation can improve. Muscles can soften and heal. Nerves can calm again. Your body responds beautifully to consistent, gentle care. Every glass of water you sip earlier in the day, every stretch before bed, every moment of movement, every step toward better mineral balance becomes a quiet act of healing. Small changes build powerful shifts. These tiny adjustments are not just habits, they are signals back to your body that you are listening to, and you are never walking this path alone. Senior Health Daily is here with you, step by step, helping you understand your body and supporting you through every challenge and every victory. Before we close, I want you to hear this clearly. Your body still listens. It still responds, and it still wants to carry you forward. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Take good care of your legs, honor your body, and stay close to Senior Health Daily for guidance, strength, and hope.